You're listening to Hard Round, and this is going to be a preview of how to use Prisma Palette to extract lights from existing paintings and work out how to work within it. This is going to be a demo for how to use this tool better and understand what light colors are going to get the results you want, and should be a good demonstration of just how powerful this tool is. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to use a white object in a painting to extract the light information and make some educated guesses about what the light's going to be. And I'm going to show you just how synced in a good painting is with light. So this is a Bouguereau painting. I'm pretty sure that's the correct way to pronounce it. So first thing which I'm going to do is I have Prisma Palette open over to the side here, and I'm going to make a new light, and I'm going to call it ambient. So what I need to do is I need to choose a nice part of the painting where I can extract the ambient term. So your ambient term will be your shadow color, and your lit area will be a combination of the shadow area we pick here and another color that we need to work out. So all we need to do to get this ambient term is color select an area in here, try and work out the right area. I would say here's about right. You want to make sure that it's not too affected by ambient occlusion, it's mostly just a solid shadow color. Then I can come over here and click on the capture color button, and that will turn this color to my ambient. I might actually try the darker one. And so that's my ambient term. So I can actually test that, make sure that's correct by color picking in here and seeing if the local color turns out to be skin-like. And it does, So now I want to work out the actual lit color. So I need to make some educated guesses here. So I can't just color pick and get a color straight away because we need to remove the ambient term to get it right. But I'm going to make some guesses about this. So I can have a look at the rest of the scene and I can look at the face and go, okay, so the skin is more reddish in the shadows, but the actual lit part is more like a normal skin tone. And we also have a cool highlight washing over most of this. So we look at these arms here, we can see how it's going desaturated cool around here. And in our midtones, we start to get the saturated skin tones, and those are where we can tell what the actual light is. And because we've got the cool highlight, I have to make the guess that we have a purple light. If it was a blue light, the skin would look dead. If it was a green light, the highlight would be warm. So we need to have a purple light. So I'm going to choose that. And now if I turn back to this and select here again, you can see that that turns out to be white. And turn this on. And so what I'm going to try and do is going to try and match this color here by modifying only the light. It's getting close, a bit more purple. Getting close. Too bright. That's about right, I think. Takes a bit of trial and error. Getting pretty close now. I had my light a bit too saturated there. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty good guess for that, and we can come over here and check here in the skin again and make sure that looks like a skin tone. Because there's different lights missing in, we won't be able to get the exact skin tone, but I can be pretty confident this is going to be the correct lighting situation. So what can we do now that I have this? Well, I can paint some new tones into the image and show what different colors that the artist never painted in here actually look like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and paint a blue stripe on this dress. And so I'm going to choose like a fairly desaturated blue. And I'm going to set up the shortcut keys with these little light buttons. So if I hit the F2 key, which is after I've got it set up, I can cycle between the lights. So now I'm just going to lay this in, the lit color, and then the shadow color. Going to need to clean that up. So once you've got your colors set down, you kind of just ignore that the panel's there and just paint like normal. Just color picking and erasing back where I need. And then to get my midtones, I want to, just with my brush opacity, mix and get those extra colors, because it's just going to be a linear blend between the two. And so I'm just looking at the surrounding values and making guesses about what it's going to be. There's going to be a bit of ambient occlusion here, so I can mix in some black. And so that ends up looking like a stripe on her dress. And you can see how it matches the lighting scheme very, very well. The next thing which I need to do is add the specular color to the stripe. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a new layer, stick it on linear dodge, and then I'm going to choose the actual key light and key light color. And how you can select that is if you just click on the little swatch, the cursor will turn to a cross, and you can just click it, and now I have that color. So your specular component is a part of color where it reflects exactly the light that it receives. Every material will do this to some amount, and for this I'm going to have to try and match the rest of the dress and try and do that. I can't construct this in the palette in a way which is very useful, and so I prefer to just have a linear dodge layer using the key light, and you'll see how effective this can be. So that's too bright. I'm just going to stick this on a clipping mask so it masks out to the layer below it. And I can come in and add the specular component. You can see how that now is blending in very well to the surroundings, and you're starting to get a good idea of how shiny this actual band is. So for another thing, let's maybe paint some cartoonish rosy red cheeks on this girl. So need full opacity on my brush again. So this is my lit color. It's too bright, I think, so I'm just going to go down a bit. Paint them on. Change my shadow color. Now I don't need to go to full darkness here because this will not go to completely in shadow. So we're going to make some educated guesses for how far down towards the shadow color we want to go. And then we can just grab the key light again and do the specularity pass on this different layer, on the linear dodge layer. And there you go. So we could keep on going all day, and we can start to add some different hues and colors to the rest of the scene. So if I wanted to add like a purplish ball, I can grab the ground color, paint some shadows. Now you should be able to do this for any painting which has a white object in it to get your shadow color, because that's the hardest part to get. But once you have that, you can work out the key light and make some educated guesses for the rest of it. If you're going to do this, I'd recommend choosing a painting or a photo that has one dominant light source and one shadow color. That will be most situations, but there's a lot of photos and things out there which has multiple, and it's going to take a lot more to understand what's going on because you have multiple sources of light interacting, and it's a little bit harder to abstract that out. So for example, you have a painting such as this one by Sargent, where you have a blue cyan sort of ambient light with a white diffused light coming from the top, and you have these warm lights coming from the lamps all at the same time. So this would be a much more difficult setup to do. You can do it, but you need to have more understanding of the light to be able to pull it off correctly. Anyhow, I hope that gives you guys a better idea about how to do this, and a better idea of how to extract lighting information to use in your own paintings. This is Hard Round, and I hope this was a good look at the powers of this tool. See you later.